What is up, friends? It's Botbender Orange, and today we're going to be doing another deep dive, number two actually, for the Armorizer known as Magneous. And all the images are care of the great Mark Clonus from his Instagram page. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. So first, let's take a look at the bot and the alt mode. Man, he is chiseled and grizzled. Looks super duper cool. I love the eyes, by the way, and the head sculpt. Like the eyes look like some type of like gems or diamonds that you would find deep in the caverns or something. And again, all the jagged detail. Like this is so unique to a Transformer. I mean, yeah, we know the Rock Lords were there, but I mean, that was like ancient times, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, I was around for that. So hey, I'm an ancient fossilizer as well, so whatever. And the alt mode straight up looks like Scraphook was transformed by Unicron in like the belly of a volcano or something, you know? Very, very cool stuff. Even the tires, rims, like all of these things covering it are all like rocked out. And I don't know, he just looks really, really good in my opinion. And showing off more of the posability over here. That's really, really cool with the Hassan chop. And man, he looks like he's about to throw down. I love this. I love the way he posed him over here too with the cockback Roketo Punchy. And the cool little pickaxe, by the way, that can turn not only into a hammer, a crossbow, but also a blaster if you turn it the other way. So that's all really, really cool. And it's blast effects compatible. And this is a new stuff that they showed off. And oh, before I go into all of that, you know what? I noticed in some of the pictures that there are these little nubs that hang off the side of the car. And I'm not sure if it's like a reflection or like what this is actually, but you'll see that in some of the pictures, they don't exist. Like this over here, you don't see it present. But even the box art, you will actually see it present. So I'm not exactly sure what that is. And this over here is supposed to be the rock mode. And yeah, piece of rock, sure. And this over here is like the barrier mode, or where he's taking cover and shield. But this is actually different than this, from what I can tell. Yeah, I think they're actually pretty different. And sure, so you can configure them in different slabs of rock. Yeah. Okay. Now this is actually what I wanted to talk to you all about. So last time when I talked about this, I thought that perhaps you can remove the back, right? And I was trying to figure out how it all transformed, but it dawned on me. This thing, this yellow piece, right, which is the shin, and so the front of the leg being the shin and the back being the calf, the shin and the foot, that's what this is. That's what this is. And so when he transforms, he's left with kind of like a vacant calf, but he does have a shin and a foot. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I don't know how I feel about that. And I'm actually wondering how they connect over here. Because, I mean, you can see that they connect by slots, right? But are these 5 milli? Are these 5 milli slots? Or are these pieces only specific to this toy? If it's just specific to him, and maybe some of the, and maybe there'll be some more Armorizers in the future that can use this, but I'll be pretty disappointed, to be honest. Yeah. And also, I don't think the foot has a 5mm port underneath, which will allow you to like plug other things into it and stuff. I think it's actually really quite limited. I mean, again, I'm just basing this off of 2D pictures, and so I could be totally off. But I don't have a great feeling about this right now, or at least in terms of the perspective of build potential. And again, this is all according to my own personal man-child perspective, and not from that of Hasbro, you know. And another thing, the thing that I outlined in red over here, oh man, this may be the biggest disappointment to me, is that I thought that this was going to be like Scraphook and Crash Bar, where you can pop these off, and then perhaps you can even use it with like the Dinobots or something, the core Dinobots. But dude, it's on a mushroom peg. It's on a swivel mushroom peg over here, and you can see that it's connected to the back of the calf, and that's it. And that's it. Yeah. And then the tires, of course, they come off and they're over here and stuff, but like that's it. That's it. And yeah, I mean, I'll talk about a little bit more, but I mean, going back to this, by the way, that thing is here again. That little nub I was telling you about. I don't know. Was this an earlier design where they had a peg or something in the front of the chest and they got rid of it? I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, you can see this bit, and that latches on over here, or it plugs in. But I'm wondering, like, are there any ports underneath here, or is it just an empty bit that just has like a peg hanging down? I think it's the latter. yeah, so like if they don't have to fill it out with plastic, they're not going to. And that does make it pretty limited. Maybe it can become a cool shoulder pauldron or something. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But I would argue and say that the best piece probably is going to be the arms. They do resemble Crash Bar's arms a little bit, but at the same time, they appear to be more simplified than Crash Bar's arms are. And then these legs, again, being a bit of a letdown at the moment, at least. And these kind of look interesting because you can imagine that there are pegs on the other side that port into here. And so if I had two of these things, these chassis lined up in the back, you could have this bit right over here and then this bit connecting to the other one. And these, I think, are just aesthetics. I think they're just feathery things that you can decorate. I would love if there was a peg and a port on the other side so you can like alternate depending on where you wanted to connect it. But I'm pretty sure it's not. I think it's just going to be one peg. And this thing over here, what to do with these, what to do with these? I mean, the Junkions kind of had them. And then, really creative people have been figuring out, how to use the torsos for Crash Bar, Scrap Hook, and even Trashmaster. But what to do with this guy over here, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, what is it? Maybe he's meant to be a torso for like a bigger bot, or I don't know. Considering you can't really remove any of this stuff, I'll reserve a true judgment until I get them in hand, but I don't got a great feeling in my belly leading up to it right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Hasbro fanatic. I'm a Transformers fanatic. I'm still gonna buy them. I'm still gonna support them. I'm still gonna play with them and like have all sorts of fun builds. But I'm just worried that the play pattern potential is being intentionally limited. Yeah, but we'll see. Again, thoughts and opinions of a man-child, me. So anyway, take it all with a grain of salt, right? And so yeah, you can see that those little those frilly bits or whatever have just been kind of like layered on over here. But I don't think there's anything on the other side. I think it's just a peg protruding and plugging into the side of the leg. And you can see again that they have not, because it can't be swapped. I thought we would have at least seen Crash Bar's legs on Magneous and vice versa, but it's not. The only thing that we see are the arms. And yeah, I'm just going to be honest and just I'm kind of disappointed in that. And also, if you look at the way that the shield attaches underneath the forearm rather than like Crash Bar has a port over here, one on the other side. There's a peg on the side and a port on the back, and like, dude, the arms are incredible for Crash Bar. Probably one of my favorite pieces next to the saddlebag and the orange bit. And but yeah, you can see there's limited swappable parts, and I don't know, my inner man-child is crying and dying right now. But I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping that there's a ton of more potential that I just can't see in these 2D images, and yeah, just kind of hoping for the best, So what's my verdict? I don't know, man. I don't know. As a standalone figure, I think they're great, but I may not classify them as build formers if they are that limited. But that's just me, that's just me. But as a standalone figure in the bot mode and the alt mode, I think it's really, really cool. I like the fact that he's made out of rock. It's something very different. The color scheme is great. The posability, all that stuff is very, very dynamic. But I am just truly worried that he has very, very limited build potential. And yeah, but we shall see. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me and providing your precious gift of time. Stay tuned, and I don't know, perhaps we'll do a deep dive part 3. Who knows? We'll see, okay? I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.